Oprah once said, if you empower women, you can change the world. Welcome to Beauty Superstars Talk, your backstage pass to experts in beauty. My name is Mickey Wright, and I'm your host and salon business coach with beautysuperstars.com, helping hairstylists raise their prices and charge what they're worth. Today, we have a really special edition of the show. Each and every week, I get to meet with the best and brightest Black beauty bosses who are doing amazing things in the beauty industry. They share their stories and drop nuggets to help us become better beauty pros and better entrepreneurs. This is actually more than a podcast, it's a movement. We're here to celebrate Black excellence, encourage entrepreneurship, preserve our history, and bring healing to our industry. And when we think of beauty, it's not long before we think of health and wellness. When we feel good, we look good. And when we look good, we feel better. So today I'm excited to be joined by three phenomenal people are helping, who are joining forces to for a fabulous cause and to make the world a more beautiful and healthier place. So we're here to share with you a special launch and an opportunity for you to join us as well. So I want to welcome back Dr. Katie Catalan, and she is actually the president of the longest running organization that is committed to supporting Black cosmetologists, barbers, and all other beauty professionals. The organization is NBCL, the National Beauty Culturist League, that was founded around the time of Madam C.J. Walker. So I'm excited to have her here today. And joining us, we also have Lafayette Jones, who is a marketing expert, CEO of SMSI, Urban Call Marketing, and also has a new position, which we'll find out more about as well. And we have, for the first time, Damon Crump. He's a U.S. Navy veteran, husband, father, and entrepreneur at heart, and he is actually the founder and CEO of Rain Feminine Hygiene Products. So we are definitely looking forward to hearing from each of them. I'm going to start with Dr. Catalan. So, how are you today?
Oh, I'm fine today. Thank you. So
Oh,
happy to be with you.
yeah, well, we're definitely happy to have you back. And it's like, I'd love for you to just share a little bit about the organization, about NBCL. And, it's like we're here to talk about a special campaign for 25 Logan Circle. So we'd love to hear, what it means to NBCL and to the Black beauty community as a whole.
The National Beauty Cultures League was organized on October 1st, 1919. And we have this beautiful building located at 25 Logan Circle, Northwest in Washington, D.C. And we need to save that building. The National Beauty Cultures League is the only organization of its type in the entire globe. So it is precious to us. And I want everyone to know that we're going to try to do all we can to preserve the building. It's in a prime real estate area in Washington, D.C. And to my understanding, we are the only African Americans with a building on that circle. So we want to save the building. We've been there a long time. And it bothers me when I think about how the pioneers worked so hard with the nickel and dime gleaners to get that building. So I want us to do all we can and get people to help us to preserve that building. We have so much in common with everybody out there because we need each other. We cannot do it alone. So everybody in the beauty profession, please come aboard and help us save 25 Logan Circle. We need your help.
Yeah, it's like that is definitely fabulous to have owned a building for, what is that, about 75 years. And it's like we definitely want to do everything possible to make sure that that is definitely a part of our continued history as well as our legacy. And tell us what happens in that particular building. It's the
And in the
headquarters.
building, we have a sorority room because we have a sorority and a fraternity. We
Mhm.
have classes. It's known as the Institute of Cosmetology, where those that are licensed can study under the Institute of Cosmetology with our professors, where they get professional degrees. And we are so excited about the professors that come in from the different universities and colleges to teach the students when they come to us. We were not able to have on-site classes from 20 and 21 because of COVID-19. We did it virtual. And they were so excited that they continued the curriculum that we did have prepared for them. So we are excited about that, and we want to get to the place where we can do the same thing and preparing for 2022 also.
Okay. Wow. Well, that's fabulous. It's like we definitely have to stay rooted in education. It's like if we're going to advance as beauty professionals. And so I think it's so key that we
And
support
I do want to add something. We have a Hall of Fame room where our
Mhm.
pioneers' pictures are in that room. We have Dr. Lafayette Jones' picture in that room.
Mhm.
We have Joe Dudley and Mrs. Dudley's picture in that room. We have Mr. and Mrs. Nathaniel Bronner's picture in that room. And we have Madam C.J. Walker's picture, Anna Malone, Sarah Spencer Washington, and our pioneers' pictures are in that Hall of Fame room. And when you go in there, you're going to be surprised when you walk in on that first floor and you see the layout that we have there. We're so proud of that. We are proud. We're going into our 102nd year now,
Wow.
and that's amazing. So
Absolutely.
we need the help to save 25 Logan Circle. We want the legacy to continue. We want it to be perpetual.
Yes, absolutely. It's like that's beautiful. It's like honoring all of the people, the pioneers, as you put it in the industry is phenomenal. It's like we actually have an upcoming interview with Mr. Bernard Bronner, who's now the CEO with Bronner Brothers, and so it's very exciting to see the legacy continue, and we want yours to continue as well. So definitely, I think there's a new website. Is that correct?
Yes, and it is save25logancircle.com. And I'm going to say it very carefully and slowly. Please write it down, pencil or pen. Save25logancircle.com.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll even try to get, something you can scan as well and just put it right in your phone and go right to it. So thank you for that. And have partnered with Lafayette Jones to be the head of the new NBCL Foundation. Tell us about that partnership there.
Well, I needed someone to help us. And the first person that came to mind was Dr. Jones because I know of what he has done in the past to build up organizations, to make things good and proper, to make things run and to be real. And he is the man wherein when he gives his word, you see the deeds from the words he has given. So he said yes. So I'm thankful that he is the chairperson of the building foundation for the National Beauty Cultures League. And this ties in with SaveLoganCircle.com.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So I'd love to bring you on, Dr. Jones, Lafayette. Tell us
Well,
about
thank you.
your role and your objective with this campaign.
Well, first, let me tell you how Dr. Catalan really got me to join. She said when she got to heaven that she would say a word for me, and that's my big payoff. See, and if I
Okay.
get to heaven, say a word for her. And all kidding aside, Dr. Catalan and I have been friends and worked together for 40 years, and she's always invited me to come to be the master of ceremonies for their programs. And one of them I introduced Hillary Clinton to their organization. Another one I introduced uh, Congressman James Clyburn, if you know who that is. He's a big person on the Hill now, from South Carolina. And I've been their MC in their programs for 30 years. And I always reserve 1 week every year in July to go to their meeting. Um, you know, things work in some very mysterious ways. And that when Dr. Catalan called, I said, Dr. Catalan, I don't always work. I work kind of like when I want to. Uh, and, I'm doing some other things, and I don't like to do boards or be head of anything. And she said, "Would you do this for me?" And I said that I would. And then she called my wife, and my wife said, "You should help your friend." So here I am with twisted arm and a volunteer and glad.
AKA.
Yeah, they're all members of this women's sorority called the Alpha Kappa Alpha. There are other sororities, Delta Sigma Theta, and some others. So I don't want to slight them, but they're all sisters, and they work together for the good of our community. That's one of the things that what Oprah said was really right. Empower Black women, and you empower the world in so many ways. Well, to make it a long story short, I told her that I would, and then I sat down and said, "Wow, how are we going to raise this money?" And in walks the door a guy named Mr. Jimmy Davies and said he heard about these young folks in Atlanta that were doing some things with, which I call in the um, um, feminine hygiene um, health space, um, like the beauty care health space. It's a vast community. And I asked him about it. He told me, I said, well, that's not possible. I told him, that's just not possible, you know. And I thought about it, and I thought about it. And he said, well, they've done some wonderful things. Let me show you. And I listened, and I didn't kind of listen. And then one day, when I was working with Dr. Jopley on the International Shades of Beauty a couple of months ago, um, Dr. Crump, if you will, was trying to get on the air, and he was got his time got confused between Eastern and Central time, and so Dr. Apostle Aaliyah Alexander had to give a speech from her gut. And when I listened to her and her authenticity, and I thought about the numbers and I looked them up and I said, well, the black hair care business is about 25 billion. I know that New York Times confirms that, other people. I'm a marketing person, so numbers driven and category driven. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, this category is about 20 billion. I wonder which black companies that I know of in the last 60 years I've been in the business that make women's feminine protection, in this case, sanitary napkins. You know, most of us don't want to deal with that because, you know, it's a taboo. And I said, they got a lot of nerve. And I looked it up and I said, I called Mr. Davis and I said, sign me up right away. Now, this is the same time I'm looking in my head for something that we can do on behalf of a women's group of 8,000 women. What can we do? And click, click, it just came together. And then I found out that they had a fundraising arm. Oh, I wonder how they do that. And I start listening to Mr. James Smith, and I start listening to Apostle Alexandria, and so forth and so on. And here we are, voila, the two came together. I did Orville Redenbacher as one of my brands in the past, and I've been vice president of Johnson Publishing, Ebony Jet, and Johnson Products, Afro Sheen, Ultra Sheen, all of that. And it just came together in my head, and I called up Dr. Catalan. I said, you would never guess what I've run across. What do you think? She says, you know, we're all women. We all use these products, and maybe we could find a way to make this happen. She said, try it. That's how we got to where we are. And that's why you should, and I'm going to look at, make sure, join our campaign to save 25 Logan Circle. Bottom line, it's a big campaign because it's about legacy. They bought this building, they bought many buildings, but the one they were able to hold on to, they bought it for $27,000. And here we are 74 years later. It's worth $3.5 million at least. But you know how to get y'all off the land. And you know who y'all are. We're talking about black folks. They tax you off the land. People can't afford to pay the taxes. That's called a form of gentrification. And so what used to be Chocolate City in DC is not Chocolate City anymore because we can't afford to live here because the cost of property and living is too high. And I went to Howard Law School, so I know DC like the back of my hand. Bottom line, Dr. Catalan said, we need to raise money to pay our taxes and develop an endowment. That's how we got here.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. It's like I really appreciate you sharing those numbers. It's like the beauty industry is $25 billion industry, and
Yes.
feminine protection is a $20 billion
Yeah,
industry. That's phenomenal, and
exactly.
it's like we definitely have to tie those things together because there's a phenomenal amount of opportunity. And you mentioned that you were looking up, to see how many companies were black owned in that space. What were you able to find?
Two,
Two. Okay.
just two, and they're different companies. One is a
Mhm.
company called Pot. They're in about 10,000 stores now, um, and they're having a tough time because working with the big box companies is no joke. You understand? When you're in Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, these companies have 8 to 10,000 stores, maybe a piece, and the
Mhm.
rules and regulations are brutal. And so I would say to young companies, you might want to think about that one before you say yes to getting distribution there, because you have to perform or you get put out. Cut to the chase. But then I found out about Rain and its 6 star and its Rain product. So I said, I thought about the numbers. I looked at them. I showed them to my wife. She's an MBA from the Kellogg School of Business. She's a numbers person. Did Captain Crunch, one of her brands. So we looked at it, and she said some product in here. So they sent me some product. Now, they don't give anything away free. Let me tell you about these guys. Everything they're very helpful and they're supportive. But if you want to play their game, you got to be an entrepreneur. That's the real deal here, you know. And we don't mind because we're entrepreneurs. So we had some products in, and so when I got the product to come in, I opened the bag, and I looked at it, and I laughed. And I laughed because it was so well done. I know packaging, slick uh, graphics on the packaging, great packaging, sealed, and on time, delivered 2 days later. So I know these people can ship, and I know they can make product. So I opened the product. Now, I don't know a sanitary napkin from a sanitary napkin. You understand? I don't know a lot about that, but I know how to examine products. So I opened one of them up and I looked at it. I examined the quality, and then somebody said, you should go online and look at their demonstration. They had a superior demonstration that proves the value of the product. Plus, they were differentiated from everybody else because they got a graphene strip in there. So I started doing the research, and since that time, which is about 5 weeks ago, everybody I talked to asked me how they can get in. But first things first, which is this campaign. We need to come together to support this campaign to make sure that this building stays in our community, that we pay the taxes, we plan for the taxes, and you know these mansions also need new driveways and roofs. And if you all probably owners on the telephone on the streaming here, you know what it takes to run a building. So we want to develop over a 5-year program an endowment for them. And we want to do things that's going to help their members. And everybody we know has a cosmetologist, a barber, or an esthetician in their family, or a minister, or a teacher.
Yeah. Well, definitely. It's like I'm anxious to talk to Damon Crump now and hear more about the actual company and speak with the founder and CEO of Rain Products, and also to hear from one of the only Black-owned companies in this industry and in this niche. And so, welcome, Damon Crump.
Black,
We're so
black,
happy to have you
black,
here.
black family-owned company. It's him
Black
and
family.
his whole company. And that's an important thing, that the most successful businesses in our community are Black family owned, where they pray together and they work together and they prove that teamwork works.
Yes. Yes. Well, welcome, Mr. Crump.
Hey, thank you, Miss Mickey. First of all, I want to thank you for having me. I didn't know I was on the line with a Hall of Famer when as I was listening, Mr. Jones. He told me a lot of things about himself, but I didn't know he's in the Hall of Fame. And also, Dr. Catalan, thank you guys for having me. First of all, I want to start before I even go into anything about rain. Save 25 Logan Circle.com. Number one, it means something to us, and let me tell you why. First of all, I'm a big history buff, and I had a chance. I saw it on Netflix, the story of Madam C.J. Walker, and to know that indirectly you can tie to the legacy that this young lady started is amazing for me. It's a no-brainer. We are in our hands are raised high to say, hey, what do we need to do? Because saving that building would definitely be important for the legacy that she left and what she went through to put together what she did. So for me, guys, I count it an honor and a pleasure that we were tapped on the shoulder to be a part of this with you all. Well, in terms of rain, we definitely want to say that we are very proud of being one of the only 100% Black-owned companies in the world, because a lot of these other companies out there, people don't know they have investors and different individuals. Everybody with us is Black, and that's important to us in reference as we've been moving forward. Just to give people an idea of the success as well. We're one of the only graphene companies in the world too that's African American, because graphene is a Nobel Prize winning material. And I'll tell you, man, people thought we were crazy. Like, you're going to put a Nobel Prize winning material in a sanitary napkin and a panty liner. But here's what they underestimated, Miss Mickey. They didn't understand the importance of women's health. And when we did that, we didn't cut any costs. We wanted to do it right because we understood the attributes of graphene being inside our sanitary napkins and panty liners. And to know, just for example, right here in the United States alone, there are 600,000 hysterectomies that's done every year on average here in the US. The majority of them are African American women. And one of the main reasons, and I'm talking about talking to some medical advisors that we seek counsel with, they're sharing with us is the toxicity of the tampons and the sanitary napkins that's on the shelf. So for us to have a non-toxic product for these ladies, something that can keep them comfortable and dry for our young girls and our women, it truly has been a blessing for us. We've been having great success with it. We launched the company on June 1st, 2019, and to date, on a $6 product, we're closing in on $10 million in revenue with a $6 product. And I mean, we still haven't really hit social media hard. A lot of this has been word of mouth. Just so you also know our legitimacy, we're National Veteran Owned Business Association certified because I am a veteran. We're also a Better Business Bureau accredited with an A+ rating. We're certified through the National Minority Supplier Development Council. We have that certification. We are FDA registered, even though we're not required to be, because sanitary napkins and panty liners are unregulated. But we went the extra step anyway and got registered. And we're also SAM registered, System for Awards Management, with the United States government, meaning they have vetted our company to where we can bid on federal contracts. We have a cage code number. So these are some of the things showing individuals that we're not here to play, we're here to stay. We are here to stay as a company. We mean business and getting our market share of those billions that Mr. Lafayette Jones spoke about, because we know it's there. We want to do it right. We make sure that our infrastructure is in place, and we are excited about save25logancircle.com. Please make sure that you guys are making note of that, because this is going to be a very, very important campaign for the legacy of the NBCL. Back to you, Ms. Wright.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for sharing everything. It's like congratulations with the company, and we are super excited that you are part of this campaign that we're launching right now. And going back to Mr. Jones' point, I'm wondering more about your family as well. He's the family-run, family-owned business. Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, absolutely. Well, to be honest with you, with my family, I'm not the boss.
Okay.
I'm the boss and figurehead, but they don't play. My beautiful wife, Mr. Jones spoke about the packaging. She literally designed the packaging. She designed our 14,000 square foot corporate office in McDonough, Georgia. She put her touches on it. In terms of that, my daughter, my oldest daughter, is our president of logistics. My middle daughter is our customer service supervisor, and my baby girl is over IT, making sure that everything stays intact, our software and all of those things. And I'm so proud of them, because everybody was stretched into roles that no one was accustomed to, but we really saw the mission. We believed in it. We knew it was a game changer for young girls and women. And so for us, there was no compromise, and we were excited about it. And to do it as a family, we work together. Everybody loves their role. We give everybody their space. That's one thing that we do. We allow everyone to operate in their role and kind of let them do what they do. And guys, they always have a way of making me look good to the public.
Okay. That's beautiful. We love to hear that. And just, for myself, I was like, I am excited to be a part of this whole campaign as well. It's like I'm a second generation, about over 3 decades or so being in the beauty industry. And it's like the people that we get to see on a day-to-day basis, it's like we know, from some of the private conversations that we have, that a lot of women are going through a lot of different things. And so I think it's so important that we do, introduce this and tie this all together with bringing the products together, making it available, and tying it to being able to save this legacy and perpetuate this legacy that NBCL has started, almost 102 years ago. So it's like, it's phenomenal. It's like I grew up knowing about the organization. Go ahead.
Ms. Wright, I just want to add one thing that I heard, because I listen well and I pay attention. I heard Dr. Catalan say she was an AKA. if I wasn't mistaken in the beginning. And I don't know if you have the packages of product in front of you, if you have the green pack and the pink pack, because there was literally a campaign we were working on with to come to the AKAs called Rain Presents the AKA Way, which is the green pack and the pink pack. So
Okay.
now with this campaign, AKAs at a minimum with save25logancircle.com should be getting that green pack and that pink pack at a minimum to support the mission and the cause, because that's definitely those colors. And we had an entire proposal that we were working on. And so it's amazing to hear Dr. Catalan speak about that. And I'm going to make sure when we get through, I send that email to you all so y'all can take a look at what we were putting together for the Rain Presents the AKA Way collaboration.
Okay, wow, that's pretty phenomenal to tie all that together.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, as a legacy, my chapter will be already, it's been made aware of it. So you go ahead and you do it. My niece being a past bachelor's of the chapter, and my sister past bachelor's. We're ready.
All I could say
Awesome.
is the most powerful people in America are Black women.
That's right.
They're
Absolutely.
organized,
That's
they're
correct.
well educated, and
Mhm.
whether they're millennials or older adults or whether they're teenagers. I do a lot of lectures at business schools and professional schools, law schools, dental schools. Our daughter's a doctor. And you know, when I get in there and look at these classes, half of them are Black women. They're well educated. These sisters are no joke, and they are the saviors of our uh, community. I work on another program for American Heart, and we're going to have to do more to protect the health of our women. But right now, we're focused on saving, our building, and at the same time doing something about the health. Now, let me be clear. I'm a professional marketer, worked on multi-million-dollar campaigns, and this I have a passion for doing this, and I feel very good about this. This company has everything. I asked them to send me some paper, and they kind of say, Mr. Jones, we don't have a lot of paper because everything we do is virtual. From virtual business cards, you can order the product on your telephone, right in tune with what's going on. They have 10, 11 videos, 10, 12 videos that are first class. I mean, everything they do is well done. I've been to this movie before. I've been around I've been around a lot of Black millionaires. One billionaire, Bob Johnson, was my friend. They all have the same characteristics. They're energetic, they're passionate, they're smart, they got their families involved. Their product is the best product invented since sliced bread. Not always, but that's what they say. But I got to tell you, this one is on target. If you look at this company, in terms of its market share, they served about 500,000 women. This is a case for Rain. They served 500,000 women over a period of time. 35% of them are white. So they got some connection with the Amish. We won't talk about that right now. But they're one of the chief suppliers to the Amish community. But equally important to that, if you look at their market share, this is a $20 billion category. They're at about $10 billion. That's 0.005 market share of dollar share. You look at units, they've done about 500,000 units. I'm tracking them through my systems. And if you look at the number of administrating women in America, there are 100 million of them, according to U.S. Census. Again, a 0.005 share. So for every share decimal point they get, they grow 10 million. Okay? And they're like a mosquito on an elephant because that's the size of this product. Dominated by three people: Procter & Gamble, Kimberly Clark, and J&J. And the way that Black small-owned companies win in these battles with no weapons usually, they usually have superior products. They'll do things that large companies won't do, can't do, don't know how to do, and some of them are afraid to go come in our neighborhoods. These guys are selling product everywhere they can, any way they can, and that's a hallmark. And you said you're going to have Mr. Bernard Bronner. Bernard I know for a long time when he was his daddy's golf caddy. And I used to ask Mr. Bronner, how come he's got the golf cart? Mr. Brown said, he's going to be the president. I said, but he ain't but 15. He says, yeah. I
Bernard.
said, but not, he's younger than his brother. He says, yeah, but he knows how to work with people, and he'll be a good president. Sure enough, right. Here he is. Bernard's got gray hair. I'm 80 and Bernard's 55. It's or 60. So I've been to this movie before. Cornell McBride, my friend who built Stay Soft Fro, and another company called the Brad Laboratories, went from second start from zero for $40 million. So this is not new, but this is a bigger opportunity than all of them for one simple reason. When you look at the category of beauty, there are 400 or 500 competitors, and they're black. And the others too, the big boys, L'Oreal and the others. And they all do liquids. Liquids like mixing this and mixing that, and from relaxers to conditioners. But what's different about what Mr. Crump and his people are doing, you have to manufacture this product. You got to source cotton. You got to be able to source that graphite strip, and then you got to put it together, and then you got to put it in the package, and it's not limited to chemicals. So that is an amazing feat. So in one category of 25 million, you got 400 of them crowded in together fighting like cats and dogs. In this other category for 20 billion, which is the category he's competing in, you got two competitors, and they're in different fields being offered in different ways. And he's already at 10. You know what it takes to grow from $0 to $10 million in 36 months? Do you have any idea how much that volume that is? Even keeping up with the money is a problem. Managing all that is a problem. And I asked him, I said to Mr. Smith, what if they run out of stock? He said, no, they got 15 or 20 million units or some large number, and they got some on the water, a lot of ways. So I'm confident we're going to win. But the most important thing today is for us to work together. There's strength in our unity. If we learn how to work together, and there are enough black women who are already in this category using these types of products, all I say to Mr. Crump is, we got to give it to them and let them try it. Because once they try it, it's going to be no doubt about them converting. None.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for all of that, Lafayette. Just please tell us, how do we get involved? What are our next steps to be part of, the Save 25logancircle.com movement? What do we need to do?
First, click on that website, that link. That's the first thing. We have a toolkit that has a virtual business card in it, has if you will, a digital card, the web page. We have something called a pique interest card, which we have sampling. We're working now with Mr. Crump to develop a system to be able to put more product in the streets. I'm talking about sampling. The key to this business growth, in my opinion, long term, I'm an opinionated marketer. That's what they asked me to do, have an opinion about something and conviction. And so I believe they can grow their business simply by getting more women to try it, whether that's a full-size pack or whether that's a sample. So we're doing that. We have a fun campaign script. We have a sample pack. We have a foil pack. We have a whole kit. And for your organization to get in and be a distributor, you're not going to believe this one because I didn't. If you sign up, it costs you $50 to sign up. I said to Mr. Davis, I said, this can't be possible. This entry point ought to be at least $1,525 just to play in the game. He said, no, it's $50 to get in, and you buy some product and another $50 of product. So you can get in this system with us and raise money for your organization. In fact, $3 of everything we raise is going to go. We got to pay for the product. That's $5. Dr. Catalan's foundation gets $3, and all the distributors get $2. So we believe in doing good and working hard, but we also like to make money. And I'm taking my $2 from my group, and I'm going to give it to NBCL. Not all of it, but I got to pay for expenses. So we can tell you how to do this. We got a winning marketing plan. We got a great product. We know what we're doing. As a matter of fact, our marketing people are getting ready to put this on Roku, and working with the networks and others to build publicity, to let people know. And we talk, our first number one target is going against African American women and helping them to understand the value. And frankly, I'm on fire about this product. And in the last 2 weeks, I brought in about 10 distributors. The message to all of you, come help us, join us. We are on the right path. And the first thing we're going to do is save25logancircle.com. That's the answer.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you for that. It's like I think that's perfect. So first step is go to save25logancircle.com and go ahead and get signed up. And it's like a portion of whatever you spend will go toward the organization for NBCL to save Logan 25 Logan Circle. And also you have the potential to make money as well. And so it's really just by sharing and telling your friends about it, telling folks that they don't have to suffer in silence anymore. So I want to thank all of you guys for being here today. It's like, are there any closing comments before we wrap up for today?
Uh, I just want to say, first of all, once again, thank you all for having us on your platform. And one of the things that we're serious about is the mission and the campaign. Uh, we definitely believe women and young girls deserve to be comfortable and dry, because that's the root of the issues that many of these young ladies and these women deal with, is the fact that they're constantly wet during that time of month, and to offer a product who can disrupt that process. We honor to be a part of it, and we're excited about save25logancircle.com. So make sure that you support so we can keep the legacy alive. Madam CJ Walker.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for that. It's like looks like we've lost Dr. Catalan. Any quick wrap up for you, Mr. Jones?
Yes. Um, when I was going to college in Nashville, Fisk University, my aunt was a cosmetologist. And one of the reasons I love my aunt, because every time I went down to her shop, he'd give me a $10 bill. So I was up over to her shop once a week because she's going to give me a $10 bill. The largest group of entrepreneurs in Black America are cosmetologists and barbers, because they're everywhere. And I organized a group of all the Black manufacturers. I'm now spending my time working on with Dr. Catalan. This strengthens our unity when we learn to work together. And we have almost now $1 trillion economy. So rather than have all this talk about getting it off of that we don't have our fair share, you have to earn your fair share and you have to work for it, and a lot of forces against us. But I know this, that if we can work with Black women and Black men too, um, to make sure people know about this product, this family, that they understand the numbers and why this is working. This is not an accident. This is just a pure set of genius with a lot of blessings on top of it. And there are other people who will come to our aid. What I have learned over the years, if you work on something long enough and people see you doing it and they think it's the right thing to do, they'll come and help you. So that's what I'm asking the men and women of the beauty industry and others. Come help us. We need you. First, to save this building. Second, to help the Rain Company grow. And I got to tell you this, the competition is on the way. This is a Me Too society. And just as soon as they look over there and see Brother Crump growing his company at astronomical levels, they'll be at the doorstep knocking soon. And we want to be there and make sure his product and his wife and his family's product is a household name before they get there. But they're coming, Mr. Crump, guarantee you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, powerful words there. And I guess I'll just wrap up. It's like like I said, very excited to be part of this. It's like the beauty industry is, I guess, in my blood and has been part of my life for my entire life. And so I am excited to support this. It's like I've had interest in real estate and done some things with that in the past, and know the DC market because that was where I spent most of my adult life, most of my career was in the Washington, D.C. area. And so I think it's extremely powerful for us to own a building, first of all, for that many years, and to still own it. And it's in such a prime location. It's like I'm dedicated to making this happen. And I want all of our beauty professionals, whether you're whatever it is that whatever role that you play, and even if you're a beauty enthusiast, and even if you are not even involved with the beauty industry, but you're watching this, it's like there are ways for you to get involved with Save 25 logancircle.com. And just for us who are professionals to realize that we do have a power behind our chair, and we have the power to influence the clients that we see on a day-to-day basis, and we have the ability to impact much wider than that with the internet. And we saw that, during the pandemic and the shutdown. It's like that we need other sources of revenue, and this is a great way to, do a triple play, saving the legacy of NBCL, helping the Rain Company grow, and also making an additional stream of revenue for yourself. So I am excited for myself, Mickey Wright, and for Beauty Superstars to be part of this movement.
Let me say one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always got one more thing to say. Mickey, I love you, and I thank you for every time I call you on the phone and telephone, I say, or text you, Mickey, we need help. She never says no. She has found a way to get involved, and I've known her for, my wife says don't say how long you know a lady, but for a long time, since she was a very, very young woman. And she's been consistent, helpful, and has come to the aid. Now, if Mickey Wright and her show and her listeners are involved, then you should too. Thanks, Mickey.
Absolutely. So I'm going to sign off now. It's like I'm really excited about this. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us, Mr. Crump. We really appreciate you being here and sharing about the industry. It's like it looks like we lost Dr. Catalan, but she is the catalyst for all of this. And we are so grateful to her for her dedication to NBCL and leading the way from the past into the future. So we're excited about the future of NBCL and about this building, continuing its legacy. And of course, Mr. Lafayette Jones, we appreciate you. It's like you're kind of putting all of these pieces together for us as the head of the foundation. And we really appreciate your, not only your efforts, but your background and your experience and all of the things that you can bring to us. Most of us in the creative aspect aren't also always into the numbers, but it's like we are part of a multi-billion-dollar industry already. And I think that expanding and being part of another multi-billion-dollar industry is a hand-in-hand kind of fit. So we really appreciate all of you guys, and we're excited about, everybody watching getting involved with Save 25 logancircle.com. So visit there, and we'll take you forth from there. So take great care, everyone. Keep reaching for the moon. Again, this is Mickey Wright with beautysuperstars.com, and we will see you next time.